Classic wedding scene from The Office. It's almost 7:15 now on Tuesday morning. It is Valentine's Day, and we have Alison McGill here. She is the editor of Wedding Bells magazine. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Thank you very much. Happy Valentine's to you. I couldn't believe the stat. You guys did a survey. 40% of all engagements in Canada happen between December and February.
Yeah, no, amazing. You've got Christmas, you've got Valentine's Day. Love is definitely in the air at this time of year.
And I guess also in order to plan for a summer wedding, maybe.
Absolutely. I mean, in Canada, we can credit the weather 100% for how our weddings roll out. And, you know, most of the weddings happen between June and September. So, yes, you've got to get that engagement rolling. And then also, if you're looking ahead, some engagements, you know, a year to a year and a half in advance. So, again, booking those venues for next summer, if you're getting engaged now,
oh, yeah,
you're right on track.
Depending on what kind of size wedding you want to have. Woo-wee. Every person I know who gets engaged, they're like, you know, I'm just going to keep it small. I'm not going to do much. And then you just fall into this snowball of wedding plans and opinions.
Absolutely.
And the vortex.
Yeah, it's the mushroom effect, right?
Maybe a long engagement isn't a good idea for that very reason.
Well, it can be. I mean, again, some people just want to get her done. So some people do have shorter engagements. You know, we're seeing engagements that run 6 months, you know, to a year and a half, you know, is kind of bordering on a long time.
Yeah.
In this day and age. You know, when we look back, you know, William and Kate, I think they were a very modern couple. They had a great size of engagement. Engaged in November, married in April. I think that's great. I think if you have your ducks in order, you can definitely get your plans going.
How long typically do you need, though, between proposal and actually having the ceremony? Like a year or 9 months?
No, it really, again, it depends what type of wedding you're going to have. It depends the season. It depends how busy it is. You know, personally myself, I started planning my wedding in November and I got married in February. But I had a very small wedding, but I knew exactly what I wanted, so I made it happen. So again, you know, you just have to be on your research. If you want to make it happen, you absolutely can.
All right, now do prospective grooms still follow this traditional thing of asking the prospective bride's father for her hand?
They do, and you know, I think we can broaden that perspective a bit and say usually they talk to the parents, you know, if mom and dad are available. And I just think, you know, it is a very traditional thing, but it's a nice thing because it sort of starts off good relations between the family. It's just a nice, you know, courteous thing to do.
It's a respectful nod.
And I mean, lots of wedding traditions have gone out the window, but I think this is one of them that is a nice one to keep. And it's one that continually we see through Wedding Bells. We do a reader survey every year. This is something that you know, our respondents tell us is happening, and I think it's a nice thing.
So sometimes that's a surprise, because the groom will have to go and ask the parents before the bride actually knows the proposal's coming.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're sort of the inside information.
Yeah. So who is paying for the wedding when you're asking the father for? Couple split it up?
Yeah, they do split it up. I mean, the average age of couples getting married today, you know, bride is 27 and a groom is 29, again, according to our Wedding Bells statistics. So, you know, these are people who are working professionals, who have their own money. So a lot of people save, they want to pay for their own wedding, and it's not necessarily dependent on, you know, just because you're speaking to mom and dad about that, the in-laws, that it's contingent on that they're going to be footing the bill.
Do you see more and more people hiring choreographers now for weddings? Because that seems to be something that's really popular, whether that's at the ceremony or at the reception.
Right.
You mean like dance choreography?
Really?
Yes, I just like the whole Glee phenomenon, that dance ensemble. Do you see any of that?
Well, I think, you know, last year that was something that we really saw happen, and, you know, let's thank, you know, shows like The Office and YouTube, our friend, where we can see everything, how everybody proposes. But the new thing that's come out this year that I've actually, you know, chatted a lot about is proposal coordinators, people who actually will coordinate a proposal for a groom. So it's actually a service.
We just heard about that. We interviewed someone.
So it's a service where basically grooms go and say, I want, you know, XYZ. If they want to pull off some great proposal, they actually hire a pro to make them help make it happen.
So what is the average cost now when you're factoring in that people are spending for the proposal? And of course, there's all of the engagement celebrations plus the wedding.
Right. Well, the average cost, according to our statistics, is, you know, just upwards of just over $20,000. And that's, you know, for an average size wedding, 120 guests. That's not factoring in if you're doing a proposal coach, because again, this is a very new thing that we've come across. It doesn't include honeymoon costs. So again, that's a starting point.
Boy, oh boy, 20 grand out of your kitty, if the two of you are just getting started in life, seems to be
is a big amount.
Flies in the face of economic common sense to me.
It does, but you know, one of the things that we've learned at Wedding Bells is, you know, we've been on this roller coaster ride in the past few years, ups and downs, good times, bad times. People definitely still want to have that wedding, that they have their mindset on that dream wedding, and they're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. So it's whether it's, you know, renegotiating what that party looks like, you know, making it smaller. If you really want that Vera Wang dress, it's making concessions in other areas. So, you know, people want that wedding day and they want it to be special and something they'll remember and their guests will remember.
What do you make of all of these grand proposals that are going on now? We were talking earlier about whether or not you should do something like that so publicly.
I think that they're fun, but I also think you need to know your audience. So, you know, if it's a guy that's proposing and your girl is not a very public person and she's very shy, and you go out and do this grand gesture that's way over the top, you know, she could be really uncomfortable. And so you really need to know, be in touch with that. You know, proposing should be intimate and personal, and you know, if it's on a grand scale, that's okay if that's your style, but I feel like there's a lot of pressure on the guys because we are seeing so many crazy over-the-top things.
Well, it seems like it's less about creating a nice proposal and more about going viral.
It is, and you know, if you go on YouTube, it is incredible how many proposals you'll find. You know, one of the ones that come up recently that I think is really cute and sweet is I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a Lego proposal, and a guy built a whole animation scene about his life with his girlfriend, and it's all made of Lego. He's like a filmmaker, animator, and it's really cute, even down to their little outfits. But that was something they shared between themselves. Then it got posted and went viral.
What's your advice to a bride or bride and groom? Because I did find, and I think most women find that as you start to plan a wedding, it can really get away from you and it can get incredibly stressful. Everybody wants to give an opinion on how they think it should be, what they think you should do. What's your advice to people who are just embarking on this?
Well, I think you really need to stay true to you. So I think whatever that looks like for you, you know, keep a level head about it. You expect that you're going to get all this, you know, waterfall of input on you about your event, but really it's your day, and, you know, stick to your guns as best you can and try not to worry about pleasing everybody because you can't please everybody.
Right. Good advice. Alison McGill, she's the editor of Wedding Bells magazine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.